Okay, listen up. There's a massive shift happening in AI right now, and I'm telling you, almost everyone is missing it. The whole playbook for building an online business with AI, it's just been completely shattered. And that has created one of the biggest opportunities I've seen in years. Seriously. If you've ever dreamed of building a real, automated, passive income stream, this is your moment. And over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to jump on it. Let's dive right into the data.
All right, just look at this chart. This right here. This is the whole story. On one side, you've got OpenAI's GPT-4, the one everybody knows and uses, costing a cool $5 for every million tokens you feed it. Then, look at the other side. There's this model called DeepSeek, and it costs just 28 cents for the exact same amount of work. That's not just a little difference. We're talking about a price collapse of over 94%. This isn't a sale, people. This is a full-blown revolution in how much thinking actually costs.
And because of that price collapse, the old way of making money with AI, it's officially dead. Gone. You know that whole strategy of just wrapping a pretty interface around an expensive model like GPT-4 to do some simple task? Yeah, that business model is finished. The profit margins are just gone. If you're still trying to build something on those expensive old-school models, you are literally just lighting your money on fire.
So what's taking its place? We're calling it the 28-cent revolution. And believe me, this is where the real money is being made right now. By tapping into these brand new ultra-low-cost models, you can build automated businesses that have like almost 100% profit margins. This is not some theory, okay? This is a practical playbook for building real autonomous income streams, basically by playing the arbitrage on the cost of intelligence itself. And we're going to walk through it step for step.
But first, we got to fix a major misunderstanding that most people have. When you hear AI, you probably think of something like ChatGPT, right? Well, a model isn't where the real power is. The power is in agents. You know, it's kind of like this. Most beginners confuse the engine with the whole car.
So what in the world is an AI agent? Well, it's not just a brain in a jar. It's a complete, autonomous system that has a goal. Yeah, sure, it uses an AI model as its brain, but the agent itself also has memory. And this is the crucial part, it has access to tools. We're talking about your email, a web browser, any other piece of software. Things that let it actually do stuff in the digital world.
The difference is really pretty simple. An AI model, that's just the engine. It's a passive brain, it has all this horsepower, but it can't actually go anywhere by itself. An AI agent, on the other hand, is the whole car. It's an active system that takes that engine and hooks it up to wheels, a steering wheel, a GPS. It can actually drive itself to a destination. That's the key here. Agents do things. And how do they do these things? Well, they use a thinking process called the React framework. It's a simple but super powerful loop. First, the agent reasons. It thinks, okay, what do I need to do next to get to my goal? Second, it acts. It uses one of its tools. Maybe it sends an email or searches a database. And third, it observes. It looks at what happened after its action and thinks, did that get me closer to my goal? This little reason-act-observe loop is what lets an agent handle really complex tasks all on its own.
Okay, so we've got our super cheap brain, DeepSeek, and we know we need to build an agent, not just a model. So now we need the chassis for our car, right? The platform that lets us connect everything. And for this, let me tell you, the pros are not using those mainstream tools like Zapier or Make. There is a much better way.
Now, this comparison is absolutely crucial. The big difference is all about control. First, let's talk cost. Zapier and Make, they charge you for every single little step, every operation in your workflow. So a 10-step automation, that costs 10 times more than a one-step. But N8N, it charges per execution. That whole 10-step workflow costs the exact same as a single step, which makes building complex agents actually affordable. Second, data. With N8N, you can self-host. That means your data never ever leaves your own servers. Total privacy. And finally, flexibility. N8N is open source, it's built for custom logic, it gives you unlimited power.
So here's the bottom line. When you're building a real business, these things aren't just nice-to-haves. They're non-negotiable. You need total data privacy. You need costs that are predictable and don't punish you for building bigger, better automations. You need the flexibility to build literally anything you can dream up. And because it's open source, you're not locked into some company's ecosystem. You own your whole stack. This is why it's the pro's choice.
All right, enough with the theory. Let's put this all together and actually build our first simple money-making agent. We're going to call it the Invoice Nudger. And its goal is super simple. Get overdue invoices paid automatically. This is a real-world problem that businesses will happily pay you to solve for them.
Every agent has to start with a trigger. So inside N8N, we set up a simple schedule.
Let's say every morning at 9 a.m., our agent wakes up and it does its first thing. It connects to a database, could be Stripe, could be a simple Google Sheet, and it just asks one question. Are there any invoices in here that are more than 7 days past due?
Now, if the answer to that question is yes, the agent moves on to step 2, reasoning. It grabs the data for each overdue invoice and it feeds it to our super cheap DeepSeek model. It'll say something like, okay, here's the client's name, the invoice number, the amount they owe. Now draft a personalized, polite, but firm follow-up email. And the AI does all that cognitive heavy lifting, crafting a perfect message in just a few seconds.
And finally, step 3, action. The agent takes that perfectly written email from the AI model, connects to a tool like Gmail, and boom, sends it right to the client. The invoice gets a nudge, and our agent's job is done for the day. All of this happens with zero human intervention. It just works.
Okay, now for the part you've been waiting for. The most important part. How does this simple little agent turn into a $100 a day business? Well, the whole secret is in the unit economics. You have to understand the cost versus the value.
Just look at these numbers. A small business would easily pay, I don't know, say $1 for every overdue invoice that gets chased down automatically for them. That's our revenue for each task. Now, what's our cost? Well, the email prompt and the response might use about 1,000 tokens. With DeepSeek, the cost for the LLM to do that is about $0.0007. That's 7/100ths of a cent. This gives us a profit margin of 99.9%. It is basically pure profit. You only need to find 100 of these little tasks a day, maybe across just a few clients, to hit that $100 a day goal.
So here it is, the entire playbook, all summed up. First, find a repetitive, high-value back-office task. I'm talking invoice chasing, lead follow-ups, generating reports. Second, pick an ultra-low-cost LLM to be your agent's brain. Third, build the whole thing in a professional, controllable platform like N8N, so you have predictable costs. And fourth, and this is so important, price your service based on the value you provide, not your tiny little cost. You're selling a solved problem, not API tokens.
I really want to leave you with this quote from João Moura. He's the CEO of Crew AI. He said, "The only moat in this AI age is speed." Think about that. The cost of intelligence is plummeting to basically zero. The tools to build these autonomous agents, they're open, they're accessible. The only thing separating the people who build new businesses from the people who just watch is how fast they execute.
Look, this isn't some trend that's coming in the future. It is happening right this second. The technology, the economics, the playbook, it's all right here, laid out for you. The revolution is here. So the only question left is, are you fast enough?